Mariano Agmi with the final bell, and I am joined by Angel Set It Off Gonzalez, who is deep in training. Angel, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm ready for this fight on December 7th at the Roberto Coliseum in San Juan, Puerto Rico. 10 rounds versus Yankiel Rivera
For many titles.
for many titles on the line for the
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy. I mean, you were just telling me a little bit about training. Tell me a little bit about how this training camp has been going.
this camp been going great. I've been waking up at 5 in the morning, doing all my running, all my strength and conditioning. I've been training at 10 o'clock, doing a
Mhm.
lot of mitt work, shadow boxing. And then at nighttime, I do sparring, hit the bag. So I've been training all day, at least
Yeah, yeah,
sessions a day.
right. And did you get how did this fight come about from your perspective?
I just think that I was already knocking on the door. I guess I kept catapulting,
Mhm.
winning tougher and tougher fights. Like my last fight, I fought a
Yep.
10 round southpaw kid. I won the NABF flyweight title. It put me in the world rankings.
Yep.
So I guess Jimmy had got a call and we made the fight happen.
Yeah. So had you heard about it for a couple of weeks before everything got finalized?
There, I didn't really hear about it, but
Mhm.
it was mentioned,
Yeah.
and I said, let's do it.
And it's great fight on paper, man. Just looking at your records, you guys have a couple things in common. What are your thoughts on Yankiel Rivera?
My thoughts on Yanka Rivera. I feel like guys that he fought, it was more like just come forward.
Mhm.
They don't move their head as much. I feel like me, I got better style. Use my jab coming in. I move
Right.
my, so I'll give him different looks that he haven't saw.
Hmm.
So that's where I think my big, strength is at on this type of fight right here.
Yeah, I got to see him up close, at Madison Square Garden a couple times when he fought there. I think he fought there twice. And I didn't realize this, but one of them was against a common opponent. You both beat Christian Robles. I think he beat him, and then you fought him like a couple months later, and you gave him his second loss, right? And that's a good fighter, and that's a kind of a good measuring stick, right, for you guys to kind of see how you deal with the same opponent.
Correct. So I feel like that had a long way to do to making this fight happen.
Yeah, for sure. I think so. I think so. And what do you think is going to be the key difference between you guys? You mentioned a little bit more like your movement. What do you think will be the difference between you guys on fight night?
I think the difference would be that, like I get stronger as the rounds go. I never slow.
Hmm.
Like we see my last two, three fights at Mohegan, it's like as the rounds go, I just keep going, getting stronger and stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
But like when I looked at his footage as the rounds go, like his last two fights, like the 7, 8, 9, 10th, you see him, he slowed down a whole lot.
Hmm.
Got winded. But I'm always up for the battle. I
Yeah.
my guard down, I train hard, I'm ready for whatever he comes with.
Absolutely. And looking at his record, and I studied both of your records yesterday, and looking at his, I'm sure you've seen this, but he did struggle to your point. He was dominating a fight against Andy Velasquez, and in the ninth round, he got caught, and it really looked like that was going to be a big upset. And somehow he was able to survive the round. Credit to him as far as his heart, but it did show that at times he doesn't move his head like the way he should.
Correct.
Yeah.
So got it like, he's tough. I mean, you get
Yeah.
into a ranking, you fight tough guys,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Common, it's gonna happen. It's just who's gonna come out victorious that night is who's smarter, who boxes better that given night,
Hmm.
you know? So
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing I've seen him do a lot is, he switches right from lefty to righty. Is that something, how do you feel about that? And is that something you've dealt with in the past?
yeah, I dealt with that. I dealt with that. I had one fighter I know early in my career I dealt with.
Hmm.
But I've been more sparring more lefties than
Yeah,
because righties. That's
right.
not
You're
a
so used to it.
thing for me. So like finding a lefty is more like you need more practice on that,
Yeah.
because these are kind of rare to find. So that's and I've been getting great sparring of just lefties in general. Like I've been,
Yeah.
a lot of gyms been coming down to Four Rows Boxing because that's where I've been having my camp at in
Hmm.
Hartford. I've been sparring a lot of left-handers. I've sparred Carlos Perez. I know he's kind of bigger than me, but he's a great lefty as well.
Yeah.
So I've been prepping, real good for a lefty.
Yeah. So your dad's in camp with you,
Yes,
even though
correct.
you're in Hartford? Nice.
Yep, correct. My dad is in camp.
Nice. Yeah,
We
yeah.
going. Even
Yeah. And looking at it from an activity perspective, it's funny, but you both fought on June 15th this year. You won your title that day, and then he won a title as well. Like I think he won one. He already had one, and then he won another one against Victor Sandoval. So as far as activity goes, you guys are on the same, same amount of time off, right?
active.
Which is good.
Yep,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
Um,
really excited for this, man. Really
oh
excited.
yeah, I could tell. I could tell. And speaking of Josue Morales, who you beat for the NABF Flyweight title, um, that was at Mohegan Sun. What was that experience like? You and I talked maybe a few weeks before the fight. What was that experience like winning that belt?
It was a great experience. It
Mhm.
was a great experience. But the goal is I'm real humble. So, my goal is to win a world title.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
of course, NABF is something I'm grateful for always, because it's an accomplishment. But, my main goal is to be a world champion. So world titles is where I want. So I'm gonna keep
Right,
striving and striving and striving and striving to
right.
get there. There's no give up. And Gonzalez.
For sure. And that was a big step towards getting into that world title contention because once you got that belt, I've noticed you're currently number 22 with the WBC, and now you get to fight for three brand new belts, right? The WBA Continental Americas title, WBC Silver Flyweight title, and the WBO Intercontinental Flyweight title. So what that means is, if all goes well on December 7th, you're going to walk away in the top 10 for three different sanctioning bodies, which is great.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. That will lead
Perfect
me
positioning.
a world title.
Yeah, for sure. Now, one of the things that I mentioned is what that I was thinking about for this is like you have Puerto Rican heritage also, but you're fighting a native Puerto Rican in Puerto Rico at the Roberto Clemente. How do you feel about that? Number one.
Oh, okay. I feel great about it, because I'm Puerto Rican. Yeah, I was not born in Puerto Rico. I was born in Hartford, but my background is, all Puerto Rican. Like I will have family out in Puerto Rico that's coming to the fight. Like I have people that support me out there as well. Puerto Rico's a real good for boxing because everybody helps each other.
Yeah.
It's a dream come true. To be my
Yeah.
heritage to fight, of what I am is Puerto Rican. That's a big blessing.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm sure that, that's a big part of your identity in your life, right? Is that you're Puerto Rican. At the end of the day, that never goes away. Same for me with my family from Argentina. You always feel like you're from Argentina, no matter where you live, right? Doesn't
All right.
matter.
Yep, doesn't matter. Yep.
Yeah.
Which
And you kind of answered my second question because I was wondering, like, do you feel like you'll have a lot of support there? It sounds like the answer is yes.
yes, I will have, yeah, definitely from my dad's side, a few from my mom's side, and and La Perla gym as well, because my manager, he's always in La Perla over there in the boxing gym over there. So I have people over there too. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. And it's shaping up to be a great card when you look at it, from top to bottom.
It's that hard.
Yeah, it's a matchroom card. Liam Paro is going to be fighting Richardson Hitchens. But I think your fight is going to get a lot of attention given that both of you are Puerto Rican. And Paro and Hitchens, they'll probably have a good fight, but they're not Puerto Rican. So I feel like the crowd is definitely going to focus in on
And
you.
LeBron and Christopher Diaz is two Puerto
That's
Ricans.
a good fight too.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's two Puerto Ricans. Yep, correct.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, to be a fan in that stadium that night is going to be great. Um, Now, given that this is a very important fight for you, are there any major changes without giving away too much? Was there any major changes that you've made to your training camp or no?
More conditioning.
Hmm. Yeah,
Condition more the key. Actually, I've been doing a lot of swimming as well.
yeah,
As far as this camp, been doing a lot of swimming and just want to be in tip the best shape of my life that I ever been.
yeah,
You know,
right. And do you feel like with him, he only has 6 professional fights, but I know he's an Olympian, so he's got a lot of amateur experience, and so do you, right? You had like 56 fights as an
correct,
amateur.
correct.
Um, do you feel like he's biting off more than he can chew when it comes to some of these opponents, including you, given that he only has 6 fights?
Yeah, not really, because I know he's an Olympian, so I figure
Mhm.
he fought a whole bunch of styles. He has the experience. So I
Yeah.
feel they moving him at a fast motion, but I still got more pro rounds than him though.
Yeah. Yeah, you have
Like
double the fights, more than double.
exactly. I have double the fights, and pro is different from amateur,
Yeah, for
So I
sure.
like, edgy on that. Like, let's see what happens. But I know I'm going in there and I'm gonna do my best and come out victorious that night.
That's what's up. You gonna spend a little time in Puerto Rico afterwards or no?
Oh yes, for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, nice.
And,
Yeah,
actually next week I'll be back in Florida, the heat because it's real cold over here, so I'm gonna do a week in the heat in Florida and then fight week I go out to Puerto Rico.
yeah, for sure. Have you ever spent like an extended amount of time in Puerto Rico or no?
Extended amount of time, vacation wise.
Vacation wise, right?
I would say like boxing wise, but as vacation wise, yes. Like I've
Yeah,
been to pro fights out there and I went to a couple nice pro fights. Like I love the vibe over there.
yeah.
It's
And then
great.
as far as your family, what part of Puerto Rico are they from?
My dad's side is from Comorillo and my
Mhm.
mom's side is from Ponce.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Hmm.
Well, look, man, I wish you the best of luck. I'm not going to take too much of your time because you're deep in training camp here. But what's your message to the fans who are going to be supporting you from all over New England, Florida, Puerto Rico? What's your message to them?
My message to the fans is that I'm gonna go over there, come out victorious, and never let nobody tell you it's not possible to achieve what you put your mind to. That night, hopefully, I inspire everybody and win all these titles so they can see that never doubt yourself, always keep going, always keep striving. That's my
Absolutely.
everybody.
Absolutely, man. Well, look, Angel set it off Gonzalez. He's fighting Yankiel Rivera December 7 at the Roberto Clemente Coliseo in Puerto Rico. You're gonna want to see that either live in person or on the zone worldwide.
Correct. Watch
Best of
live
luck, man.
on at 7 p.m. or just show up to Roberto Clemente Coliseum. Come support in person. It's gonna be an epic card, epic fights, and see the new WBA, WBO, WBC silver flyweight champion.
Top 10 in every org after that.
Every category. Yep.
That's what's up.